Coach Deborah has a passion and purpose to assist young men, ages 15 to 24, to overcome obstacles and build their best lives. She wants to see every young man live out their potential. She has a master's degree in human services counseling, with a major in life coaching. More importantly, she is the mother of 3 boys, who are exceptional, educated, professional men. Coach Deborah believes it is better to train early, rather than need to fix later. She utilizes basic principles and God-led concepts. Sometimes the only thing a young man has is their credibility or their name. The actions they take are based on the decisions they make. Those decisions align with their choices and result in consequences. Coach Deborah can assist you if you are lost, floundering, or confused. Embrace the help and start building your best life today.
All right. Good morning. Good morning. How's everybody doing this morning?
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
All right. Welcome to another edition of Coach Deborah Smith, Build Your Best Life, where it's better to train early rather than to fix later. And we're here on another beautiful Saturday with Conversation with the Guys. And of course, we have Deacon Dan Smith, we have Coach Ricardo Miller, and we have newly Dr. Elder Joseph Levette. Let's give it up for him. Doc, what's going on? Congratulations, sir.
Congratulations.
Yes. So today, we have a great conversation coming up, and it's something that needs to be spoken on. And we're going to be dealing with health benefits of waiting for marriage for these young men that's out there. And it's a research indicates that those who have to wait to have sex until marriage compared to those who don't have significantly higher relationship satisfaction is 20%, and it's 12% better communication, 22% less consideration of divorce, and 15.2% better sexual quality. So we're going to speak on those things this morning. And before I do that, I'm going to let each one of you guys, give just a little bit, about yourself, talk a little bit about yourself. So, if we have newcomers, watching this, they'll know a little bit about you. So I'm going to start with Coach Ricardo Miller.
Thank you so much. And congratulations to Dr. Levette. This is totally awesome, man. I'm excited. I'm surrounded by some good people. Oh, hey, yeah. Hey, Deacon Dan, I feel blessed. I feel blessed. I'm Ricardo Miller. I'm on a double assignment today, and so I am a local pastor here in the Dallas Fort Worth area, and I'm a father. I am a husband. I am a son. I am a friend. I love helping people. And to be a part of a conversation like this is amazing. I've written a couple of books, and I've had the joy of serving for more than 25 years the next generation. And the last 3.5 years, I've been working as a life management coach.
Okay, that's good stuff. Great stuff right there. Okay, Deacon Dan Smith, how you doing this morning, sir?
I am great. Dr. Levette, my brother. Congratulations on that doctor's degree.
Yes, sir.
I'm Dan Smith, and I am married to the lovely Deborah D. Smith, Coach Smith, and our anniversary will be coming up Monday. So
All right now. All right. What's the number?
24.
What's the number?
24.
Wow. All right. Congratulations to you, sir.
24. But one thing I can say about 24, but we dated 7 years. So that's what, 31?
31.
Yeah.
31. Hey, those count.
Yeah. But anyway, I am a retired law enforcement. I'm a supervisor special agent. I did about 40 years.
Wow.
About 2 months short of 40 years. And now I am a proud father of 4, 3 boys, 2 girls. I got 6 grands and 1 on the way. So that'd be 7. They say 7 is completion, right?
Yeah.
Not when it comes to grands.
Oh, not when it comes to grands.
Right.
All right. We're going to see.
Right. Never starts all over.
We're going to see. After being retired, I picked up a couple of businesses, a handyman service and alarm service, and they keep me quite busy.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you, I'm being pulled from left to right. Sometimes I tell Deborah, I say, you know what? I put myself out there too much today. I done did 3 different things or 4 different things in one day because people, call me and I try to help them out much as I can.
Yeah.
So, but other than that, I am great.
Good stuff.
That's great. Good stuff. Okay, Dr. Elder Joseph Levette.
Hey, great morning, guys. Definitely glad I always look forward to this Saturday. I wasn't feeling my best, but I got up because I was ready to go for this morning. Feel better today, thank God. Mm-hmm. I'm Joseph Levette, married to the lovely Tony Levette. We have three girls and 1 boy, all grown and gone, of course. And Deacon Dan, I got you beat, man. I got 9 grandchildren, 1 on the way too that'll be here in a couple weeks. And but my love of family. I love family. I love helping God's people. Did 32 total years of Army service to this nation. Then got out, went and got my degrees and further education, and became a chaplain. I'm a hospice chaplain. I've been doing that about right at close to 3 years now. I love just being there, being a support for people. I just love God's people in general. So that's one of my strong points. So I'm looking forward to today's conversation.
Okay. And I am Coach Dr. Kevin Wilbon, 24 years retired military. I'm also a high school track head coach, basketball coach. I'm an author. I wrote 4 books. I love kids. I have 3 boys, and I take that back. I got 3 men, and 1 young man and 2 men. And I've been married for 26 years. And, I'm just here because I love what Coach Deborah Smith is doing, with the young men and young women as well. Everything that she stands for is what we need in this community, what we need in this world. And if everyone was to tune in and to listen to these conversations and everything that she has going on, it would definitely help any and everybody. So I'm elated to be here just as much, and with these distinguished men that's sitting here, with us today. So we're going to jump right into, the conversation and, just, put our heads together and, get it out there so everybody can, hear what we have to say on this subject. And what I'm going to do first, I'm going to go ahead and put out, what we're doing this morning. And, and I'm going to direct this question to you first, Coach Ricardo Miller. Okay. This is going to be for you. Okay. All right. Your opinion, should young men wait for marriage to have sex?
Man, you say should they?
And should young men wait to have sex before they
I just want to make sure you said should, because I don't want to.
I said
yeah, I don't want to answer wrong. You said, brother, I thought you believed another way. But all jokes aside, such a great topic. Thank you again, Coach Deborah, for bringing engaging conversations like this each month for us to talk about, and for the mothers who are listening, for the fathers who are going to have their sons to come back and listen to this as well. This is so important for dialogue. And so, should a young man wait for marriage? I think absolutely. I think, as the statistics indicate, it is the healthiest way to go. I think it's God's ordained way to go. There is so much, I believe, that contributes to a stronger commitment and bond between two people to give each other themselves to each other only at that initial breaking of covenant and commitment to each other. So I'm all for that. I think it's not something that is highly celebrated, recognized, enforced, or even suggested in today's society. There's a lot of different views out there. How many of y'all know that? There's a bunch of different views. But I believe, one, if a person wholesomely understand who they are, understand what their body represents to their quality of life, and then connect with someone who values that equally, I think it will definitely worth the wait.
Okay. Good stuff. Good stuff. How about you, Dr. Levette? What you think about that?
Yeah, I would say definitely they should wait. As a man of God, I'm always going to think the biblical way. You should wait. You should wait. A man should wait, because one of the things is, if you get out there and be so promiscuous and you just having sex, you really don't know what a full love, a sexual love relationship is, because once you get into a marriage, you done been around so much, and you with that woman, you don't even really know, how they really make you happy, if I can say it that way. So I think waiting takes that element it takes that element of wanting a lot of different stuff out, and it allows you to grow sexually to each other, understanding what each other want and what each other need. So I think, yeah, it definitely should wait.
Hey, can I jump in there? Dr. Levette, you think the contaminants of the eye there, be it so watered down with so many different, I think, you get caught up, and a lot of people program their minds into, okay, let me see how many bodies, what's my body count?
Yes.
So it really has the potential to really affect a covenant between two people who want to do life forever together.
Totally agree. That's exactly kind of where I was.
Okay. All right, Deacon Smith.
Well, I'm agreeing with both Coach Ricardo and Dr. Elder Joseph Levette. I agree with both of them that they should wait. Because, if you wait, and both of you all have been waiting, I think you have a greater relationship in sex. Yeah. You know one another. You don't have to have, by having many sexual partners, that don't mean anything. Yeah. And but I believe that, I don't need to say anything else, because they said we should wait, and I agree with them.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Well, you know what? It takes self-control to maintain abstinence, right? And will being sexual abstinent help with overall self-control? That's what I wanted to say. Would being abstinent help with sex control? What do you think about that, Dr. Elder Levette?
Okay, I'm gonna answer that kind of two ways. It will definitely help, but I think the issue becomes now that there's so much sexual prowess, so much sexual innuendos out there with all of the these videos that young ladies and like to put out there on videos on Instagram and Facebook and everywhere else, and even today how like the younger women dress now, it builds sexual innuendo. So it's hard for a young man to build. It's hard for a young man to build abstinence when all of that is out there. Plus the peer pressure. I was gonna hit that later, but yeah, that peer pressure sometimes it's hard to be abstinence, but self-control, if you practice it and stay really true to it, it will work for you. It will work for you. So I think, I think it will help with your self-control.
Okay. All right, what you think about that, Deacon Smith?
I agree with Dr. Levette. You gotta have self-control, and he's brought up a good thing, peer pressure. The things say with pride leads to disgrace, but humility comes wisdom. So if you got to have a lot of humility, and I think about being absent, that should build your humility. You have that self-control, so that should help. That will help a person a whole lot, and a young man a whole lot. So yeah, I totally agree with what's been said.
Okay. All right, Coach Miller, you want to weigh in on that?
Yeah, I most certainly will. The whole idea, though, I'm going to keep pushing this subject. I think I'm going to keep pushing my narrative towards identifying self, being okay with who you are, and I think the strong sexual promiscuous culture and society that we have, I think the struggle is, man. Oh man, there's just so many different perspectives. There are so many different spirits. There are so many different energies. There are so many different, and I just think, it's important that we commit to finding ourselves. So that, see, when you sit with a female, I'm talking to the young guy who's listening right now and say, "Oh man, abstinence? No way! Come on, man, they gonna call me weak." Okay, come on, abstinent. What do you mean abstinent, man? I was talking to my son the other day, and he said he used a term I didn't know, and he said these guys at college, they're all talking about what their body count's gonna be. The term body count. I said, "What you mean body count?" And they pride themselves on that. And so then when you don't fall in the body count window of committing to what everybody else is, which we've heard a little bit just a while ago about peer pressure, I mean, you got to know who you are. You got to know how to sit down at a table and say, "That's not me." And my vision is going to determine my level of discipline. It's going to determine my yes and no's. My vision says, this is who I want to be, when I want to be there, and who I want to be there with, and so forth. So until then, I'm prepared to stay by myself with the commitment to having myself for someone else later down the road.
Okay. Now I'm seeing up on the screen, it says, Carol Crockett, how will you not know who you are? You will not know who the young ladies really are as well. Is that a true statement? Do you guys believe that?
Yep.
Yeah.
You got to know who you are. I mean, and I think a lot of times in relationship, the mess happens when I haven't found myself because I was out there just trying to just be everywhere, and you didn't find yourself, and you out there not finding out who you are. Now we both commit to trying to do life together. Come on, man, that's gonna be a mess.
Yeah, it is.
A lot of work to fix the mess.
All right, correct.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let me ask y'all a question. What does waiting for marriage, what kind of impact would that have on sexual diseases, sexually transmitted diseases? By waiting for marriage, what impact does that have on sexual transmitted diseases? And I'm going to start off with you, Deacon Smith.
I believe that was for us, the number wise of not having sexual disease probably go up real high. Waiting, because you got a lot of different type of sexual diseases out there, and you don't really want to commit yourself, or and did something that and then cause you to be a recipient of one of those diseases. So I wouldn't want to be that way, and I would tell young men, no, you don't, no, don't just wait. You got plenty of time. If you got one of them guys that you got one of your peer pressure buddies talking about this, and this, as long as you don't talk about it, he won't ask you no more. So that's something they should learn. you don't talk about your sexual activities or whatever. That's something. I think that's something should be kept to yourself. That's something that should be private. But it appears that that's not the way it is in reality.
Right. And they talk about it a lot. I mean, they think that is the the best thing in the world to talk about. You know, we were young men before, and we knew when we came up, you know, that locker room talk, school talk, in class talk, you with your buddies. You know what I'm saying? And like what Coach Ricardo Miller was saying, you know, they were talking about bodies and stuff. That's that new thing now. Well, I don't want to say it's a new thing, it's a new slang, but that's what these kids talking about, how many bodies they got. And they, you know, they think that is a great thing, but not knowing that, you know, you could die.
But you know, back then, as the fellows, they'll tell you who is easy, who is not, so you know who to approach.
Yeah,
that's exactly right.
Yeah,
exactly right. All right, Dr. Elder Levette, what you think about that as far as, you know, the sexual transmitted diseases by waiting?
It definitely has an impact if you wait, because one, Miss Carol kind of stole my thunder a little bit, but yeah, because there are diseases that are incurable, and you may not even sometimes know you have them. Because you're trying to be tough. You don't want to go to the doctor and say, this hurts, that hurts, this is happening. So what happens is you get in a marriage, you're trying to have children, things like that. I mean, it could be the man or the woman. And it'll cause them you can't have children, or you passing something that was incurable that you had on to a person who might have waited. They might have waited to marriage. And now you've passed that on to them. And so now you have, you know, you done messed their life up, and now it creates a big problem within the marriage. And now, you know, it's gonna probably more than likely it's gonna lead to divorce. But the thing about that is, even though that leads to divorce, you both still got to go out there and maybe try to find another relationship. And the question becomes, do you tell that other person you got an incurable disease? Because they're not gonna want you more than likely if that's the case. So yes, it has a great impact. Waiting has a great impact, because if you're not, then you're just taking that risk.
Okay, yeah, that's exactly right. All right, Coach Miller, how you feel about that?
Yeah, I think it's so much a subject that needs to be talked about, but the challenge is oftentimes you have one person saving themselves and the other isn't. And let's just say, you know, girls say, hey, man, I'm going to save myself for marriage. And then she's really doing her due diligence. But then she ends up falling in love with the dude who was just, I mean, all over the place.
Right.
Right. And like Elder Levette just mentioned, you know, now he comes with something that, man, your first time, you end up having a situation that occurs that sort of mess up your life. Because you commit and connected with someone who was just, you know, was all over the place. And so this whole concept of one, waiting is so important, but two, having, man, the discipline and commitment to say, hey, I want to find someone of equal status. Oh man, that changes the whole game, because oftentimes you would hear more females say that they're waiting. Guys normally never publicize their waiting. Guys are liars a lot. You know, guys straight up lie.
Right.
Even if they're waiting, they'll be like, yeah, I had something last week. Yeah. Hey man, you know you ain't never had nothing. What you talk about? You had something last week just to try to fit in at the basketball game.
Exactly.
Guys be lying, right?
And
but then they're
lying too.
You sure enough can tell. You sure enough can tell. But then you have a lot of women who would straight up tell you, I mean, hey, I'm waiting. Their girlfriends know they're waiting. They know who is the fast girl, and they know who's the girl who actually you can't go further than hold her hands and kiss her, because she ain't going no further. And so a person who has that level of standard to prevent themselves from getting a sexual transmitted disease has to know that your standard is not only your standard. Your standard needs to be your prayer for your person you're going to commit to standard as well. Because, okay, yes, you did honor the commitment to not, and then you end up with someone you say, well, you know, this is my first time. This is my first time. Okay, I'm glad it's your first time. It ain't mine.
All right.
And now we got a mess. Now we got a problem. And so there's so much in regards. So I'm of the belief. This is where I'm at now. Now, this didn't happen in my household. Neither does it happen, I think, culturally. But I think difficult conversations need to be had. I think we have to learn how to bring stuff out on the table. You talk to your daughter and say, hey, are you waiting? She said, yes, Dad, I'm waiting. Then guess what? You need to step up to the plate and understand that's going to lessen the amount of guys that you're going to have as possibles because you want to wait. I believe you should wait. But then you now got to be praying for guys to wait too.
Right. That's exactly right. Okay.
But I don't throw in a little thing. You know, guys, you know, you're talking about their life. Yeah. They go tell a girl, oh, I love you. And she's that soft, you know.
Yeah.
I have some young woman listening today. If she's that soft to believe that lie,
yeah,
then, you know, hey, you know that you're in trouble.
That's why fathers ought to help their daughters to not be swindled by the word LOVE.
Right.
And the first little flowers, first little rose bush she brings, she gonna spread it. Hold on, girl, you a little bit more valuable than one flowers. You a little bit. The word "I love you" doesn't automatically give him a full play.
There you go.
Right. That's exactly right. All right, guys. Okay, let me ask y'all this then. Is there a high risk for one partner to tire of the other person, beginning to have multiple partners when there's premarital sex involved? Is there a high risk for one partner to tire of the other and begin to have multiple partners, premarital sex involved? And I'm going to start off with you, Deacon Smith.
It is. I mean, this is where you got to be. This is where the humility sets in. You got to be honest, you know. And I guess you got to search a person out. You really got to find out about them. And that's one of the things, you know, you can't, if you're going to date someone or you're going to call each other girlfriend, boyfriend, hey, search them out. You know, don't be too quick to engage in anything.
Yep.
You know, find out what's going on. And, you know, like I say, premarital sex involved, you know, hey, no, you got to, tie out the other one. Yeah, that's a touch and go situation. And it is it is a high risk for one partner to do that.
Wow. Okay. So how you feel about that, Dr. Levette?
Yeah, I definitely agree with what Deacon Dan said. I mean, you know, a lot of times what happens is you get into a relationship, more than likely, if you have that desire to have multiple partners, it was already there. It wasn't something that just came upon you in marriage. It shouldn't be nothing of you turn of the person, because in marriage, it requires you to learn of each other, even as you grow in marriage. And if you both waited to have sex, then why not explore with each other what sex, really means to you? Because it actually not so much sex then, it's intimacy and you enjoying each other. And it's about you letting each other know what meets your needs. You know, what is it, what things you like and don't like, because if you having that conversation in marriage, that person is not going to tire. But if it's just the same old, as they always used to say, and I'm just going to be real, because I want young men to hear this. You used to hear that old saying, all she likes is just one position, that type of thing. And after a while, if that woman ain't willing to maybe explore some things, because you can explore it, just being you may like it, it may not. And that guy, he should respect that if you don't like it. Yeah, he should respect that and keep moving. You don't have to have that, because you've now built a relationship with someone you say you love. And if you love them, you will cherish what y'all build together. And that includes the intimacy of sex.
Okay. So how you feel about that, Coach Miller?
I'm gonna add 2 words with it: values and standards. Values and standards. What's your standards? What's your value? Some people, they're saving themselves for one person, and they want a rich, long, fulfilling relationship with one person. You meet the person, you love them, but then you have this standard too that also keeps you committed. Your values and your standards keeps you committed to this one person. Now, if the person doesn't have the same value/standard, you may want to question, and that's where difficult conversations come in. Hey, let's talk about this. I mean, I'm a one woman kind of guy. Okay, I'm a one woman kind of guy. What kind of woman are you? What kind of woman are you? Well, until you put a ring on my finger,
Right.
I'm not quite yours. Well, we don't have the same standard. Okay, we don't. We're not. Hold on. When does the commitment to only me and only you presides? And when does that come? Do you have wishful thinkings that I need to know about? That's actually thoughts in your head that is actually contaminating your standards. That's messing with your value system, even though you haven't gone there yet. What ideas are you playing with in your head that goes against my values? What ideas you got playing in your head that goes against my standard? This is conversation. And a guy, I believe, should be prepared to talk. Hey, man, listen, let's enjoy this meal. But tell me a little bit about your standards when it comes to a relationship. Oh, I don't have a problem doing this. Oh, okay. Thank you for letting me know this early. Because you ain't getting no ring from me if that's what you believe. I'm not going to commit to you if at the foundational level of who you are is what I don't believe, then I can't do life with you.
Right.
Well, you know what? I believe it's what Coach Delamay Majors had commented on. You should be truthful and be straight up with each other from the beginning.
Yep.
And both sides, both parties, not just the man, but the woman as well. You need to be straight up and let them know exactly what you're looking for. What is this about? Which way we're going to go with this, and just be straight up and be honest. And if that happens, then at least both of you will know exactly what's going to happen or what's not going to happen. So I really believe in that. Okay, Deacon Smith. All right, go ahead, Coach Miller. Go ahead.
Can I throw this wrench in the wheel?
Throw it in there. Go ahead, knock it on out the park.
When I was standing up on the Soldier Road in the Bahamas on the streets, hanging out with my friends, they said, never tell a woman everything. You can't tell her she gonna get mad for honesty.
Right.
What's your view on that? And I know y'all are seasoned men of God. Y'all got great views. And come on, we taking the wrench and throwing it in the wheel. They say, oh, you gotta keep some stuff back. I'm gonna tell you the truth right now. At this stage of my life, I don't believe that, but that's what I was taught.
Right.
I was taught that, and it took me a while, and it took a real woman who said to me, hey, man, come 100, even if it's painful, in the truth that you're gonna express, don't lie to me. Okay? Now, that to grow into that took a lot for me, even at this age, to say that. How many of y'all have heard that before or even subscribed to that view and had to move away from it, or you still believe it is a strong position in our society?
Well, you know what? The reason why, and I'm going to harp in on that, because a lot of times we already feel like, if we tell them the truth, whatever we're trying to get out of it ain't going to happen. We feel like it's going to really hurt them, or they're going to just shy away from us, depending on what we tell them. So we don't tell them the truth. And I agree exactly what you said, although it may hurt and it may, do a little bit of damage, but in the long run, it'll work. It will work in the long run. But we was never willing to take that risk, being young, coming up when it came to, trying to be truthful to what we need to say, to a young lady. All right, Deacon Smith, how you feel about that?
Well, I think you need to be, sometimes you have to learn the hard way. You have to hold back. You hold back, don't be truthful. But it feels, it's better to be just be truthful.
Yeah.
Whether it hurts or it don't hurt. It's better that you can get past those situations like that. Because hey, I ain't gonna tell her everything. Why not? Yeah. If you're looking for a future with a young lady, go and tell her.
Yep.
Either she gonna do one or two things. She gonna stay there with you, or she gonna go.
Yeah. That's right. That's exactly right. I see Coach Delamay Major. She hitting us up today, boy. She said that go both ways. For men cannot handle certain things also. How you feel about that, Dr. Levette?
I was actually, once again, man, these ladies, they own it today too. They putting that challenge to us. She hit my point. I was gonna say that could go both ways, because sometimes too, there's young ladies who won't express all about themselves, to that man, because for that fear of him not wanting me. Even if they had, let's just say they had 2 or 3 partners, they might say I'm a virgin. Yeah, but they've already experienced some sexual encounters, and so it can happen both ways. And then that guy, he can lie to her. He done been with 5, 6 women and tell her, yeah, I'm waiting on you, babe. I'm waiting on you. That's down to that whole buildup of, if he really likes her. Maybe he have it in his mind that he wanted to change now that he got off her, because he really maybe love her.
Right.
But now he don't know, if I tell her this, though, this gonna push her away, shy her away. So yeah, I mean, that's a tough. I think Deacon Dan said it best, man. He said it best. That, hey, you go out there, that's the chance you take.
Dr. Levette, I heard a fella said, you're gonna laugh at this one. I heard a fella said, hey man, I'm 27 years old. I got a pass, but he said, when I gave my life to Christ, old things are passed away. He said, I'm a virgin now. He said, I'm a virgin now. I just gave my life to Christ, forgetting those things that are behind.
Hey, but Coach Delamay, she just finished hitting us up saying a dog like to mark their spot.
That's the truth.
I look at some of that comment.
I know we're gonna have to deal with her for the rest of the show, right?
Right.
Hey, that's what it's all about.
Yeah,
that's exactly right. Okay. Old school mindset says men are allowed to practice first, but women are to remain virtuous. Y'all believe that?
That is a real strong mindset.
Yeah.
I've met a ton of players, fellas who are players who be like, yeah, I ain't marrying no girl who ain't no virgin. Dude, you ain't no virgin. What you mean you ain't marrying no girl who ain't no virgin?
Right.
That's true. That's true. Okay, let me ask y'all this. Okay, although there are various birth control methods, having sex before marriage could lead to an unplanned pregnancy. Could this situation cause a young person to commit to marriage before becoming mature and financially or physically ready? I'm going to say it again. Although there are various birth control methods, having sex before marriage could lead to an unplanned pregnancy. Could this situation cause a young person to commit to marriage before becoming mature and financially or physically ready? And I'm going to hit you up first, Coach Miller, on this.
Man, why are you hitting me up first, man? He's throwing hot. That's a Dr. Levette kind of answer right there.
Dr. Levette. You know what? I'm gonna bounce that. I can bounce it to him and come back to you.
I'm messing around, man. I agree. The statement is so true and it's so current and so real. The reality of it is, a lot of people, hey man, I was saving myself for marriage, and now I'm pregnated, man. What's up? What you going to do? The woman saying, "What you gonna do?" You like, what? Fella, like, what do you mean? What I'm gonna do? I mean, I just was enjoying you. I wasn't thinking about no marriage. I can't go home and tell my mama I'm pregnant and without a ring. Okay, I guess I really do love you, but I wasn't thinking no marriage. And a lot of people find themselves in that kind of position. And so the girl's pregnant. The guy now wants to marry because he may even have a value system which says if you impregnate the girl, you need to marry the girl. I mean, there are so many values. That's why I think before you squat, okay, before you make out, before you get entanglement,
Right.
right? You gotta have some conversation, man. Hey, what do you think about marriage? When do you want to get married? What do you think about committing to me or a person for the long haul? Where does that come in? If you had a child without before actually marrying someone, would you still marry them? Would you still commit to the marriage or marry the person, or would you just commit to taking care of the child?
Right.
Are you going to take care of the child? Are you the kind of person who would make a good father? Are you the kind of person that would make a good mama? Because you could sleep with someone and they were the person you would like to sleep with, but you never thought about they're not the nicest of person to be a mother.
Right.
They're not the nicest of person to be a father.
Right.
Now you got, your daddy ain't no good, but you slept with him. Your mama ain't no good, but you slept with her. But so there's a lot of feelings that occurs into bringing this answer to what you just asked, where a lot of people don't ask these before because our feelings governs our sexual activities on so many levels.
Okay. So how you feel about that, Deacon Smith?
Let's go back to old school. If you had old school, them strong fathers, and they'll tell you, son, if you get one pregnant, you're going to go to the altar, you're going to marry her, and you're going to take care of that child.
Yeah. You're going to be responsible.
That's it. Mm-hmm. You're going to be responsible. Whether you got money or not, you're going to get a job.
Yeah.
And you're going to take care of that child.
Yeah.
Well, now, these days, it's not that way.
Yeah.
So, even, with birth control and all like that, a person still can get pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
So then, and like I always tell my boy, hey, no, you got to be able to financially take care of them, physically take care of them. You're their daddy.
Yep.
And you don't want nobody else calling them, another man calling them, hey, that's my dad over there. Or you their daddy. You got to take care of them. You got to be physically responsible.
Right.
And I think sometimes it do lead to unplanned become a marriage. And
right.
If you're not mature and financially, or you're not physically ready, then you're gonna struggle in that situation.
Most definitely. And if you get someone pregnant, that's life changing. Your life has changed forever. Go ahead, Coach.
Hey, that's why we're like, hey, listen, man, I can't sleep with nobody because I can't afford no baby, and I ain't ready for no marriage. I don't know. I can't afford no baby, and I ain't ready for no marriage. So you know what? I'm gonna just keep it locked down for a while.
Yeah, you're right. And yeah, once you have a kid, or once you get someone pregnant and you have a kid, your life is definitely going to change, and it's not going to be all about you anymore. It's not about you anymore. You got to take care of that kid. So whatever plans that you did have, not saying that your plans is going to end, but it's going to take longer to do what you wanted to do with your life, because you have another life to have to deal with and take care of. So it is a alternate, change in your life when you get someone pregnant. Okay, Dr. Levette, you want to weigh in on that real quick?
Oh yeah, I mean, these two guys, Coach Ricardo and Deacon Dan, they kind of set the foundation of this question. I mean, an unplanned pregnancy is not an absolute for a marriage. Sometimes in this day and time, you even had some young ladies who think if I get pregnant, he's gonna marry me. They use that as a pressure for that young man to marry them. But that don't mean that they're gonna marry them. And for a young man, just because you get a woman pregnant don't mean you should marry her. Because if you're not really ready to step up to the marriage plate, I ain't talking the financial part, because you still got to do that. That's the responsibility that you taking on. But as far as the marriage part, if you're not ready for a marriage, then you shouldn't get in a marriage. Like years ago, that old saying they used to have what they call shotgun weddings.
Shotgun wedding.
Pregnant, you know, her daddy was standing there with that shotgun ready. He said, "No, you got my daughter pregnant. You owe her marriage. No, not that you need to marry her. You owe her marriage."
Right.
Yeah, because you lessen her value.
Right. Yeah, but nowadays, you know, it's you know, that's why the men in the lives, particularly of our young ladies, the men of those of us that are men, are if they have a man that is a good covering for them, they got to be able to let them know, don't get pregnant thinking that's going to hold on to him. Yeah. If he loves you, he's not going to marry you for a baby. He's going to marry you for love. If a man really loves you, he's going to marry you for love and not a baby. So man, a baby is going to make him love you. Yeah. So you got to know, you better know that, you know, you putting yourself out there if you get pregnant. Because the thing what I don't like about sometimes that is that the young lady ends up getting pregnant. The guy goes off and does whatever he want to do, and he continue living his best life. When this young lady now is struggling to try to take care of the baby, and even if you are paying child support, you ain't doing all that other stuff like being up in the wee hours of the night trying to go. This young lady trying to get her life back on track, going to college, going to school, and doing things to try to better her life. Well, she now has this baby, and it's gonna bring a lot more responsibility for her. So you know, for men, don't put a woman in that situation. You young men that's listening to me, don't put a young woman in that, and don't put yourself in that situation. Yeah. If you just wait, then when you both get married and have children, it'll make the world a difference, because now y'all get to share in all the responsibilities, and it makes it a lot easier.
But you know, I just got one comment. I know, you know, counseling this couple of young ladies, and the situation happened where so they're financial, you know, they're adults now, financial able, but she was told that the first time, because, you know, we have, you know, sex, you're not going to get pregnant the first time. Well, lo and behold, they got pregnant the first time. You know, so right now, and the expression that the young lady has now, oh, no, men's off my radar, certainly. You know, so, you know, that's it. That's it. You know, that's what she said. No more. They will have no more. And, but that's how she feels about it. I mean, I'm sure that's what happened.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a hard topic.
Yeah.
Very hard. Very hard.
We might have to bring this back to a part 2, because we about 5 minutes out of time.
That's exactly right.
This is so good.
Yeah. We probably would have to do a part 2 on this one. We can probably talk about this all day long. It can go back and forth, but
it's helpful though.
It's helpful. It is helpful, and it's needed. It's very much needed. But guys, in closing, you know, what advice would you give young men on waiting until marriage to have sex and leading them to build their best lives? Okay, I'm gonna start off with you, Deacon Smith. In closing.
Okay, in closing, I'll tell a young man, hey, waiting is no problem. You don't have to, you don't that, you know, by having sex or whatever while you're young, you don't have to prove anything to your peers, to your brothers out there, your friends out there. It's you. Because if you get a young lady pregnant, then it's on you. It's not on your friend. They're not gonna come and help you. You know? Right. So, you know, hey, to them, just wait.
Gotcha.
Just wait. And a lot of people say, hey, if you can't wait, you cover up. Well, you know, hey, just wait. You can cover up and still get a woman pregnant.
That's right. Yeah. And they seem to believe that everybody is leaning toward it's okay to have sex because they putting these condoms out in school and they doing all of this and all of that. You know, really sending out a lot of mixed messages. But I understand why they're doing what they're doing, because they don't want people to catch diseases and the whole 9 yards. The bottom line is just wait. Okay, Dr. Levette, in closing.
Waiting is a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing in saying that. I believe when you come to marriage, you both come to marriage as as virgins, as so to speak, you both come to marriage like that, then it gives you an opportunity to grow in the marriage. It gives, because if you don't have a whole bunch of different sexual mindsets, you know, because that's what you gain. You gain a lot, like what Coach Ricardo called it earlier, sexual spirits. You have a whole bunch of these different type of spirits in your head of what you think sex ought to be and what marriage ought to be and all of that. But if you wait until you get married, it eliminates a lot of times those spirits, and it allows you to grow together as a couple and enjoy one another. You know, I had an opportunity to talk to a couple before that. They both waited. They both waited till they got married, and they was like in their 20s, and they waited. They got married, and they said, what I asked them was, well, what's the joy in waiting? Both of you waiting, and they said it's because we've been able to explore each other. And we trust each other that, you know, we're able to share what we want and what we don't want with each other. We're able to share that in a way that keeps us from having to go outside the marriage. Because one thing I commonly say all the time, for a man is only going to cheat if he desires to cheat. If he wants to be in that relationship, he'll do everything within that relationship. If it was crazy for you to have waited all of that time to get married, and then you go get in the marriage and you start going out there cheating because you think you're not getting whatever you think you need at home. So, you know, that would be a whole waste of waiting, you know, in a sense. So I say, you know, waiting is a beautiful thing, and I think it adds to the value of marriage. It adds to the value.
Good stuff. All right, Coach Keller, your final thoughts?
I got it. Yeah, I have the head on in 1 minute, but I totally agree. Waiting is the way to go. I'm of the belief the pressure that society gives us sometimes causes us to stop thinking, male and female. One, the question is, should you get pregnant? Can you capably handle that? And with all of its elements, if the child was to be added into this picture, can you and the person you're with, can you handle that? The second thing is sexual transmitted disease. Can you guarantee that there won't be any sexual transmitted disease filtered into this whole process? Third, should you get pregnant, would this person want to marry you? Would you want to marry them? And can you all do life together beyond the child? These are things, and that's why I think this is a part 2 conversation, because there's so much needs to be said about this, and so many people aren't saying it, even though we as a society know it needs to be talked about.
Okay. Well, you know what? I want to thank you, gentlemen, for tuning in this Saturday, and everybody else that has been on this channel looking in the whole 9 yards. We just want to say thank you. And the bottom line is, do what you need to do so you can stay healthy, so everybody is happy. And I would say this, that for this subject here, just wait. Just wait. Okay, thank you, Coach Deborah Smith, for having us here again. You know, we love what you're doing. And for those out there, please get her book, Build Your Best Life. It's better than to train early rather than to fix later. Go on, put it up there, Coach Deacon Smith. There it is right there. And thank y'all again. You know, you distinguished gentlemen, for being here. And we will see you guys again next month, the second Saturday of next month. Take care and stay blessed. We're out.